In the dead of night, a man's loud crashing noises disturb his neighbors. Filled with resentment, the building manager goes to warn him but is dragged into the room, and screams of agony echo through the apartment. When the police arrive, they find the manager covered in blood. Young-kook, pointing to a torn body, suggests the manager might have been attacked by an animal. But in the city, where would such a beast come from? Confused, Lee-hyun meticulously searches the crime scene. Under the bed, Lee-hyun discovers a bloodied face.
선생님, 나오세요.
With no place to hide, a man crawls out. He frantically explains to Lee-hyun that he only remembers being incredibly thirsty, and then nothing else. Lee-hyun inquires if the man has recently been scratched by an animal or taken any medication. The man recalls he's a pharmaceutical salesman who just tried a new pneumonia treatment his company produced. This revelation raises Lee-hyun's suspicions. He further questions the man about who he sold the medicine to. The man answers that he recently sold it to a special forces member named Jong-tae. The towel is now stained red with the blood from the man's face. Lee-hyun pries open the man's mouth and is confronted with a terrifying sight, evidence that he had cannibalized the building manager. Just then, more infected individuals appear. How will they handle this unfolding crisis? Saebom and Sun Young, hearing the commotion, arrive just in time to witness a horrifying scene. Saebom, initially moving to intervene, is shocked into stillness. Without hesitation, Saebom shoots Jong-tae in the knee, but it doesn't stop his frenzied attack.
이종태 거기서.
Jong-tae hissed like a wild animal, and even though Saebom tried his best, he could only suppress him temporarily. Jong-tae, trapped behind a door, furiously headbutts it, terrifying everyone. Saebom asked Sun Young to go first with his injured companion. Suddenly, Jong-tae calms down. To understand what's happening, Saebom cautiously approaches the door, bewildered by the chaotic scene. As she's unsure what to do, she hears a cry for help from inside. Without hesitation, Saebom looks inside to find Jong-tae has regained his senses.
안 물리게 조심해.
Her teammates arrive to help carry Jong-tae out, bringing a moment of relief. However, while cleaning the blood, Saebom notices scratch marks on her palm. Recalling the fight with Jong-tae, she shivers, realizing the wound came from their scuffle. Meanwhile, an armed force arrives, intending to take away everyone who had contact with Jong-tae.
윤 경장이 쏜 친구, 감염병에 걸렸을 가능성이 있습니다.
무슨 감염병이요?
현재 조사 중입니다.
세범아, 지금 누구랑 얘기하는 거야?
중대본 위기대응 센터 소속 환태석 중령입니다. 윤 경장이 나중에 전화 드릴 겁니다. 총 주시고 감염병 조사에 협조해 주시죠.
Saebom, unafraid, doesn't realize a disaster is unfolding.
저 세안경찰서의 정의원 경장입니다. 무슨 일인지 간단하게 말씀해 주시면 안 되겠습니까?
윤세범 경장, 감염된 교육생과 접촉해서 검사 대상이 됐습니다.
이게 무슨 감염 말씀하시는 건지.
이제 알아봐야죠. 그럼 끊습니다.
이종태 맞죠? 감염된 교육생. 저희도 이종태 교육생과 접촉한 살인 피의자를 체포했는데요.
살인이라고 하셨습니까?
사람 목을 물어뜯었는데 감염과 관련이 있는 증상입니까? 혹시 접촉자들도 격리해둬야 합니까?
물리거나 긁혔다면요.
She is then taken to a strange building where Lieutenant Jisoo conducts a series of checks on her and assigns her a room. With nothing to do, Saebom, looking in the mirror, notices the wall has been patched. Driven by curiosity, she tears off the wallpaper, revealing a bloodstain. Then, a piercing scream comes from next door. Confused, Saebom moves to the window. At that moment, a man is surveilling everything happening inside the building. Who is he, and what caused this mutation? A zombie virus outbreak causes chaos throughout the city, and even the military's efforts to contain it are futile. The virus sporadically causes its hosts to lose their minds. But interestingly, after these episodes of madness, their wounds heal rapidly. The origin of this widespread virus remains a mystery. Lee-hyun, seeking answers, goes to the pharmaceutical salesman's house to find the mentioned drug. After a thorough search, he discovers a pill. Knowing Saebom is quarantined, Lee-hyun, concerned for her safety, urgently seeks information about the drug. Lee-hyun asks his friends to help him investigate the drug's manufacturer was the military. The drug, known to cause thirst and dizziness, had been discontinued, but somehow it was stolen and sold. Realizing the gravity of the situation,
경찰입니다. 책임자 좀 만날 수 있을까요?
군사기밀 지역이라 곤란합니다.
한태석 중령님한테 그때 말했던 약 가지고 왔다고 말씀 좀 해주십시오.
들여보내.
Lee-hyun rushes to the quarantine zone to inform Tae-suk of his findings. Tae-suk, seemingly already aware of these details, remains non-committal. Meanwhile, Saebom undergoes various tests and jokingly interacts with Jisoo.
여기 뭐 하는 데입니까? 병원은 아니고 학교 같은데.
사람들 많은 곳에 목 물어뜯는 감염자를 풀어놓을 순 없으니까요.
저도 이종태 교육생처럼 되는 겁니까? 장난친 거예요. 안 물어요. 약 발라주는 줄 알았는데.
Just when Saebom was going back to her room, she saw Jongtae who scratched her, driven by a need to understand what might become of her.
잠깐 얘기 좀 할게요.
Saebom, ignoring Jisoo's objections, forcefully enters the area. Jongtae has regained her senses.
너 괜찮니?
좀 춥긴 한데요. 괜찮습니다.
너 나한테 총 맞은 거 기억해?
네,
동료 물어뜯고 나한테 덤빈 건
잘 모르겠습니다.
기억하네.
윤세훈 씨 물러나요. 위험할지 모릅니다.
괜찮습니다. 지금 멀쩡해 보이는데요. 무슨 약 먹고 미쳤던 거야? 그 약 어디서 났는데?
무슨 말씀이신지 모르겠습니다.
네가 약 준 친구 벌써 체포됐어. 너 경찰 신분이라 가중처벌되는 거 알지? 이거 보이지? 이거 네가 긁었어, 종태야. 여기선 감염병이라고 하는데 난 잘 모르겠거든? 이게 병인지 약 때문인지 알아야 돼, 종태야. 그래야 누나가 안심하고 검사를 받을 수 있거든.
물 좀 마시면 안 될까요?
절대 안 됩니다.
목이 너무 말라요.
But he keeps saying he's thirsty. Saebom was concerned and went to check on Jongtae, but a horrible scene happened.
이종태.
Luckily, the rescue team came in time to save Saebom. Tae-suk then gives Saebom an access card, explaining that her body might possess the virus's antibodies and she needs bi-weekly checkups. An excited SAE Bomb finds Lee-hyun and SAE Bomb tries to scare him but scares Jisoo.
중이님 저 또 못 믿고 섭섭해요 진짜.
Just when it seems the virus spread is under control, a riot breaks out in the quarantine zone, and all infected individuals escape. As the situation escalates, the question arises, how will they face this growing crisis? As the terrifying zombie virus rapidly spreads throughout the city, creating panic, SAE Bomb's unique situation brings a glimmer of hope. SAE Bomb, despite being scratched by a zombie, not only avoids mutation but also develops antibodies against the virus. Knowing this, SAE Bomb made a deal with Tae-suk. In exchange for her cooperation in vaccine development, she requests an apartment from the military, to which Tae-suk agrees with a smile. However, there are two conditions. SAE Bomb must provide blood samples weekly for vaccine research, and the apartment application requires a married status. A tempting offer for the long homeless SAE Bomb. Upon her release from the hospital, SAE Bomb proposes this idea to Lee-hyun.
현아, 너 혹시 사귀는 사람 있어?
갑자기 뭔 소리야?
있어?
없어.
너 코고니? 이가라?
아마 아닐걸?
우리 결혼할까?
Who is taken aback by this sudden happiness and agrees to her proposal. In fact, Lee-hyun had a crush on SAE Bomb for a long time, but he didn't get a response from SAE Bomb. Back when they were in high school, Lee-hyun, facing setbacks in his sports career, just wanted some solitude on the rooftop. However, his presence there unexpectedly drew a crowd of onlookers. SAE Bomb wakes up in her classroom to the sound of a siren, and she thinks it's Lee-hyun who's interrupting her beauty sleep. The police officer is dumbfounded as SAE Bomb walks next to Lee-hyun.
학생! 저기요! 학생 뭐야? 여자친구야?
아니요. 야, 너 때문에 집에 못 가잖아. 아저씨, 제가 설득할 테니까 잠깐만 거기 계세요.
아니 이 학교 학생들 왜 이래 이거?
Through SAE Bomb's persuasion, Lee-hyun agreed to go down with SAE Bomb. Unexpectedly, in front of everyone, SAE Bomb pushes Lee-hyun off the rooftop. This push made this bad girl live in Lee-hyun's heart forever. Excitedly, SAE Bomb shares the news with her friend Sun-young, who reacts unusually, only offering perfunctory congratulations. Sun-young questions SAE Bomb about the virus, noting her unique survival despite being scratched. SAE Bomb doesn't care about it. Sun-young asks SAE Bomb if any journalists have approached her, offering a large sum of money in exchange for information about the virus. SAE Bomb confirms that she has been approached by reporters, but mentions that they have signed a confidentiality agreement, preventing her from speaking carelessly about the matter. Sun-young nodded his head with a worried look on his face to indicate that this was indeed the case. Alone, Sun-young reveals two dark scars on his neck, suggesting a hidden infection. When and how he contracted the virus remains a mystery. Desperate for money, Sun-young ventures into a horde of zombies to leak exclusive information in exchange for cash. So why did he risk his life? He knows he's already infected with the virus and, facing imminent death, wants to leave some money for his wife and child.
경장님, 어떻게 생각은 좀 해보셨어요?
얼마 줄 수 있습니까?
본부장님이랑 얘기를 좀 해봤는데 내부 영상 있고 저희 쪽 단독 보도하는 조건이면 금액은 최대한 맞춰드릴 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Sun-young cut his wrist with a knife and asked SAE Bomb for help. SAE Bomb, learning of her friend's infection, drops everything to take Sun-young to quarantine. On the way, she continuously comforts and encourages him. asking if he feels extremely thirsty, a known precursor to mutation, so Saebom took Sun Young to the quarantine center. At the quarantine center, Jisoo is skeptical about Sun Young's wound but doesn't probe further after Sun Young insists it's a scratch. Then Jisoo took Saebom to the vaccine room, realizing her friend might be infected. Saebom inquires about the virus. Jisoo told Saebom that in case of being bitten, he will definitely be infected and his condition will get worse and his normal time will be less and less. The infected individuals unpredictably experience intense thirst and attack humans, and currently, there is no known treatment for this condition. Jisoo told Saebom you're the luckiest of all. Saebom returns to the testing room after having her blood drawn, and she's just about to ask Sun Young to join her for dinner when she realizes that he's long gone. Through a phone call, Saebom learned the purpose of Sun Young's visit.
나 가족이 있잖아. 이렇게 개 죽은 다음에 나 죽은 이유도 다 비밀로 할 텐데. 그리고 안전 보장되고 돈도 벌 수 있는 방법이 있어.
여보세요? 야, 이승영!
Saebom quickly informs Jisoo about the situation, understanding the urgency to find Sun Young. Meanwhile, Sun Young, dressed as a staff member, stealthily enters a highly dangerous area. He is stunned by what he sees, and just then, hears the door being locked behind him. He immediately rushed to the door, but it was too late. Trapped among the zombies, Sun Young makes a call to a journalist, resolved to secure money for his family even in death. He courageously picks up his phone and slowly approaches the zombie crowd. Saebom receives Sun Young's final call.
사람이 아니야.
뭐가?
전부.
By the time they find him, it's too late. Amidst numerous growls, Saebom witnesses her once friend, now turned into a zombie, as the terrifying virus continues to spread. The critical question remains, how will they deal with this escalating crisis? Tae-suk and Lee-hyun came here to find out who's been stealing and selling the medicine, but under Tae-suk's coercion, it's clear they don't know where the drugs come from. Then when did Tae-suk and Lee-hyun form an alliance? The alliance between Tae-suk and Lee-hyun formed when Tae-suk, having heard of Lee-hyun's reputation as a famous detective, approached him with a bag of money, seeking his help in the drug investigation. Lee-hyun, on a marriage leave with Saebom and with time to spare, agreed to take on the task, choosing not to involve Saebom to avoid dampening her spirits. The contracted couple slept in the same room and did nothing. The next day, Saebom, with her freshly prepared rice cakes in hand, decided to visit her neighbors. A little girl, with a friendly smile, opened the door for Saebom. After politely accepting the gift, Seo-yoon wanted to accompany Saebom to deliver the gift. However, a closed door blocked their path. Seo-yoon suggested they should take the elevator instead, but Saebom, undeterred, kicked the door open with a few strong kicks, showcasing her formidable strength. Meanwhile, Saebom has gained a little fangirl. After knocking on the door, the owner of the house is a lawyer, and he's very cautious because of his profession. Haesung throws away the rice cake that Saebom gave him, fearing that Saebom was sent by his enemy to assassinate him. Later, Saebom came to the neighbor's door upstairs. After several unanswered knocks, she was about to give up when she heard a noise inside. Curiosity drove her to press her ear to the door. The sudden appearance of the woman startles Saebom. Woman accepts Saebom's gift very unkindly. When she opens the door, there's really someone inside. The complicated relationship makes you think twice. As Saebom was descending the stairs, she encountered a young man. Embarrassed, she accepted a mask he offered and, unable to refuse his request, promised to get him a Special Forces t-shirt. After a busy day, where all her neighbors, except Seo Yoon, seemed strange and eccentric, Saebom didn't ponder much and went straight to sleep. The thumping and banging upstairs at night made Saebom dream of the moment Jongtae went crazy. Saebom, who was woken up by the banging, vaguely felt that something was wrong. Lee-hyun tries to go up to check, but Saebom stops her. What direction will the story take next? Who is secretly selling the medicine? And can the zombie virus be controlled? In a certain country, a zombie virus outbreak occurs, and those bitten or scratched by the infected become zombies themselves. However, there's a unique twist. Those turned into zombies occasionally regain human consciousness. Amidst the dense zombie horde, Saebom's friend Sun Young is trapped. Desperate for money, he risks his life to secretly film news about the zombies. Sun Young, who has a wife and child, has a strong will to survive. Unable to bear the sight, Saebom rushes in to help, single-handedly. She pushes the zombies back and attempts to rescue Sun Young, but as they try to escape, they find the doors locked from outside. In this critical moment, Lee-hyun arrives just in time.
너 괜찮아?
너 여기 어떻게 왔어?
다행이야. 늦지 않아서.
Saebom reassures Sun Young that everything will be okay. Guilt-ridden, Sun Young apologizes to Saebom, explaining that his actions were to leave more money for his family in case of his death. Meanwhile, the nation is shocked and horrified as Sun Young's secretly filmed footage airs on TV, causing public outrage and criticism towards the incompetent management. Unbeknownst to them, Tae-suk, who has been tirelessly working to control the virus, has also had his family infected. Tae-suk, after closing the door, removes his tie. Now that the public is aware of the situation, he is unburdened by concerns and ready to take bold and decisive actions. He heads to the drug dealer. Taking both the medicine and the dealer, Tae-suk needs to find out who else the dealer sold the drugs to. However, the dealer remains stubbornly silent. To deal with such a tough nut, Tae-suk locks him in with the zombies, giving him a taste of true despair. Meanwhile, Saebom is having a sweet video chat with her mother at home when they hear a loud noise from upstairs. Lee-hyun gets up to confront the noisy upstairs neighbor, leaving one to wonder what's really happening in that neighbor's apartment.
안녕하세요. 아래층 사는데 좀 시끄럽네요.
Ju Hyung, who opens the door, hurriedly explains that the noise is caused by his wife, Min Ji, who suffers from a mental illness and has been throwing and smashing things at home. Standing beside Ju Hyung is Sang-hee, visibly panicked. She's the woman hiding under Ju Hyung's bed. Sang-hee's panicked look made Lee-hyun see that something was wrong. but he couldn't ask too many questions without evidence. The next day, Lee-hyun encounters Sang-hee again. Before he can ask much, a frightened Sang-hee confesses everything. Joo-hyun's affair with Sang-hee was caught by Min-ji, his off-duty wife, and Joo-hyun beat Min-ji to death with a golf club. Shockingly, Min-ji resurrects as a zombie. Hearing this, a chill runs down Lee-hyun's spine, and he immediately calls Sae-bom. Knowing her impulsive nature could lead her to confront the noisy neighbor, the call connects. But it's too late. Sae-bom has already been pushed into the bathroom by Joo-hyun.
준마. 진정하세요. 나가고 싶어요?
Sae-bom seems to understand the zombie's intentions. It just wants to leave and has no desire to harm her. Meanwhile, Joo-hyun, now frantically calling for help, plans to use the zombie Min-ji to eliminate anyone aware of his crime. Unexpectedly for Joo-hyun, the zombie Min-ji, furious and unrelenting, starts advancing towards him. In panic, Joo-hyun flees without even putting on his shoes. Seo-yoon, witnessing Joo-hyun's hasty escape, is about to warn him of the dead end ahead when she sees the zombie approaching her. At this critical moment, Sae-bom rushes in to save Seo-yoon, fighting off the zombie. Just as the zombie is about to bite Sae-bom, Lee-hyun arrives in the nick of time.
그런 거 같아.
The zombie is eventually taken away by the epidemic control team. Lee-hyun approaches Min-ji, informing her that he has evidence of her husband's crime and promises to bring Joo-hyun to justice. Lee-hyun then returned to the flat and took Joo-hyun away. Just as Lee-hyun was escorting Joo-hyun, Sae-bom rushed over in a panic and hugged Lee-hyun. What could have happened next? As the sections of flap came down, it meant that the whole neighborhood was fenced off like a steel barrel. The military's stern readiness terrifies the residents, who are clueless about what's happening, only aware that their area is under quarantine. During this isolation, the supply of essentials becomes paramount. At this critical juncture, Tae-suk finds Sae-bom and explains the situation. Tae-suk caught a drug dealer selling the zombie's virus. Initially uncooperative, the dealer confesses everything after being locked up with zombies and scared senseless. He had been collaborating with the local gym, deceiving residents into taking a drug under the pretense of weight loss. Which also induced euphoria. The drug gained widespread acceptance in the community, with too many people potentially infected and at risk of turning into zombies.
수고하셨어요. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 좋은 운동 하세요.
There was no choice but to quarantine the neighborhood to prevent the virus from spreading. Hearing this, Sae-bom is outraged. She's just moved in and this is happening to her. She'd had a hard time getting her own house, and she'd been locked up for doing nothing. She resolves to protect her new home at all costs. Tae-suk, initially intending to evacuate SAE Bomb because she possesses antibodies to the zombie virus, reluctantly accepts her firm decision to stay. SAE Bomb calls Lee-hyun to say goodbye and advise him not to return to the flat. However, to her surprise, they unexpectedly meet in the elevator.
나 혼자 남은 줄 알았어.
세봉아, 나 지금 저거 잡아야 되는데.
괜찮아. 아무도 못 나가거든.
Lee-hyun is, of course, bewildered, faced with the risk that any of their fellow residents could turn into zombies. Lee-hyun and SAE Bomb sit quietly on a chair, contemplating their next move in this precarious situation. In a certain country, a miraculous drug is developed that can resurrect the dead, but with a catch, they return as zombies. Ju Hyun, in a daring move, decides to test the drug's effects. Ju Hyun kills his wife and Min Ji turns into zombies and chases Ju Hyun for revenge. During his frantic escape, Ju Hyun heartlessly uses innocent elderly people and children as human shields to buy himself time. At the critical moment when Seo Yoon is about to fall victim, SAE Bomb intervenes just in time to stop the zombie. And soon after, Lee-hyun arrives to subdue it. Lee-hyun meticulously gathers evidence of Ju Hyun's crime of murdering his wife. While escorting Ju Hyun, Lee-hyun briefly loses focus, allowing Ju Hyun to escape. What Ju Hyun doesn't know is that the whole neighborhood is now quarantined. Dense troops surrounded the neighborhood like an iron barrel. Lee-hyun had no trouble finding Ju Hyun in the neighborhood. No one could get out of the neighborhood, so Lee-hyun had to bring Ju Hyun back. At that moment, an announcement was made to tell everyone to go to the conference room for a meeting. Lee-hyun, who had no time to spare, handcuffed Ju Hyun, while saying he volunteered to watch Ju Hyun.
잠시만요.
아니 지금 뭐 하는 거예요? 왜 나한테 진짜 도대체 왜 이러는데? 그럼 화장실은? 화장실 그냥 방에 싸요?
흘리지 마세요.
Lee-hyun threw a bottle to Ju Hyun and went to the meeting room. At that moment, Sunsil complained to Hak Jae, though Hak Jae initially seems indifferent.
긁혔어? 아이고 이래. 약 한 번도 안 사줘 놓고 좀 봐. 아이 소주는 한 잔해. 술 먹으면 하나도 안 아파.
He is relieved to see that Sunsil only has a bruised wrist and smiles in relief. At this time, Dong-hyun, who had nothing to do at home, came out and not only did he not say a word of concern, but also complained.
동현아, 이 샌드위치 먹을래?
두 분이 많이 잡수고 오래오래 사세요.
아유 저런 버르장물.
Hak Jae pushed open the door of Dong-hyun's room and looked at the room's furnishings and then closed the door angrily. Dong-hyun rushed out of the room, cursing and making a phone call. Dong-hyun never dreamed that he wouldn't be able to get out of the basement. Sunsil secretly examines a real injury in the bathroom, a wound inflicted by a zombie. Soon, news of the neighborhood's lockdown spreads rapidly through various channels, as everyone listens to the official report on TV.
일주일간 단지 전체를 코호트 격리하게 되었습니다.
저 아가씨 난 여기 살지도 않는데 갇혀야 돼요?
감염자 관리 및 전수조사가 가능할 때까지 외부에 나가지 못해 발생하는 모든 피해는 보상하겠습니다. 식사를 비롯한 모든 점들의 불편함이 없도록 조치할 테니 잠시만 참아주시고 추가적으로 필요한 사항이 있다면 입주민들께서 논의 후 알려주시기 바랍니다. 이상입니다.
Lee Hyun provides additional details about the infected, heightening the tension among the residents. Faced with a diverse group of neighbors, Lee Hyun and SAE Bomb start investigating who else might have taken the zombie-transforming drug, and what happens next. The neighborhood is tightly quarantined. Seo Yoon anxiously awaits a call from her mother, Eun Ji, who is stuck working outside the quarantined area. When Seo Yoon finally receives the call, she excitedly tells her mother that she's doing well at SAE Bomb's house. Eun Ji, unable to enter the neighborhood,
아가씨가 있어서 정말 다행이에요. 정말 고마워요. 제가 금방 들어갈 테니까 우리 서윤이 좀 조금만 더 봐주세요.
너무 걱정 마세요. 저도 서연이랑 있는 거 재밌고 좋아요.
서윤이 심장이 안 좋아요. 스무 판막 폐쇄 부전증이에요. 심장에 피가 고여요. 격렬한 운동 절대로 안 되고 피 흘리는 거 절대로 안 돼요. 저번에도 손톱 조금 다쳤다고 병원에 입원해서 항생제 맞았어요.
제가 잘 지켜볼게요.
그거 몇 분 벌겠다고 애 옆에 있어주지도 못하고 아까 전화 왔는데 못 받았어요. 정말 감사합니다.
아유, 어머님 잘못 아니에요. 너무 걱정하지 말고 계세요. 제가 잘 보살필 테니까.
entrusts SAE Bomb with her daughter's care. A conversation overheard by Seo Yoon from behind the door. Seo Yoon knows that her mother has to work several jobs a day for her sake. Seo Yoon touches her face when she hears SAE Bomb open the door. SAE Bomb hands Seo Yoon a mobile phone and with a forced smile, she pretends she didn't hear anything and picks up the phone, but after hearing her mother's concern, Seo Yoon couldn't help but cry. SAE Bomb couldn't bear to see mother and son separated and called Tae-suk. Upon meeting Tae-suk, SAE Bomb directly asks him why children must also be placed among the dangerously quarantined population. Tae-suk responds indifferently to SAE Bomb's question, stating that Seo Yoon is safest under her care, especially since Seo Yoon's father has also taken the drug that turns people into zombies. He points out that danger is present both inside and outside the quarantined neighborhood. Hearing this, SAE Bomb falls silent. That night, the small one-room flat welcomed two guests. Jungkook takes a comforting photo to reassure his wife. The group, lost in thought, struggles to fall asleep. The next day, everyone, except for the spirited SAE Bomb, is visibly drained. SAE Bomb's energy inspires the others to persevere. However, when they go downstairs to pick up boxed meals, they are locked in by neighbors from another building, who look down on them because they live in Building 1, considered a building for commoners. Angered by this prejudice, SAE Bomb grabs Jungkook's gun and confronts them.
수고 나갈까요? 그냥 열래요?
SAE Bomb and Ehyun discover that the source of the virus spread in the neighborhood is the gym. They interrogate Sunbeam, the trainer, but he won't tell them anything, and Sunbeam just keeps drinking water as if it's a sign of an attack.
아니 물을 너무 많이 드시네. 목이 자꾸 말라요?
원래 많이 마셔요, 원래.
같이 일한 분이 여기서 약을 팔았거든요.
정부에서는 그 약이 광인병 유발에 영향을 끼친다고 봅니다. 증상은 아시죠? 심한 목마름, 환각.
솔직히 말해봐요. 약 먹었어요?
아니요, 전 진짜 보충제 말고는 안 먹었어요.
가져간 사람들은 알죠? 지금 말 안 하면 판매 혐의까지 받으실 수 있습니다.
전 진짜 모른다니까요.
Alert! SAE Bomb opened the blinds and saw a man. The mysterious man's eyes are only exposed, and he seems to be watching SAE Bomb. The man, Andrew, a janitor, is described by his colleagues as a bit simple but kind-hearted. He has been self-conscious and reclusive due to a facial scar from a childhood injury. Recently, he started working more confidently because wearing a mask became common. Ehyun almost falls for the woman's fabricated story about Andrew, but becomes suspicious after seeing Andrew's deliberately defaced ID. Despite these concerns, their immediate priority is to control the spread of the virus. They lock Sunbeam up for everyone's safety. To their surprise, the next day when they bring Sunbeam his food, they find the office empty. Sunbeam has escaped. The question arises, where could Sunbeam be? And could he turn into a zombie? SAE Bomb and Ehyun followed the trail of Sunbeam's escape. In the lift room, SAE Bomb found a pool of bloodstains. As the elevator approaches their floor, they hear a growling sound from inside and quickly realize the danger. fleeing as fast as they can. During the escape, SAE Bomb spots Sunbeam hiding in a car and signals him to run with them before it's too late. The group of people hiding behind the glass door are gasping for breath.
아니 물 진짜 안 먹었어요. 아 근데 왜 뛰어? 아니 물이 뛰니까 뛰었죠.
Deoksun and Sunbeam looked at them with a confused look on their faces. They don't know what's going on, and the danger is approaching them step by step. With the bloody handprints on the glass door, it means that the residents of the neighborhood are starting to mutate into zombies. Meanwhile, Andrew stands on the rooftop, witnessing the horrific scene of people turning into zombies. He seems calm, as if he had anticipated this development. Back in Building 1, SAE Bomb and Ihyun are busy sealing all exits. The others, still not fully grasping the situation, are perplexed by their actions. The scene in front of them made them realize how dangerous it was outside the building. SAE Bomb receives a call from Tae-suk, who reminds her, "Now you should understand why I did what I did." Tae-suk, watching the monitors, informs her that except for their building, all others have fallen to the zombies. They're on their own now. Hearing this, SAE Bomb panics and looks at the stairs leading to the basement. There's no door that can be closed. Unsure how to face the zombies swarming the neighborhood, she knows she must stay strong for those she must protect. Tae-suk arrives at a secret base. The chairman in front of his is the one who produces the zombies' virus drug. The chairman, the first to turn into a zombie, had bitten and killed Tae-suk's pregnant wife. Tae-suk accuses the chairman of releasing the stored drugs, feeding them to unsuspecting people to increase the number of infected and speed up the development of a cure. Confronted with the truth, the chairman brazenly taunts Tae-suk, claiming he enjoyed the taste of Tae-suk's wife's blood and curiously wondering whether their unborn child was a boy or girl. Tae-suk, frowning, remarks, "You must be quite thirsty now." Jisoo questions why Tae-suk hasn't quarantined and monitored the chairman. Tae-suk said that the chairman is too high-ranking for Tae-suk to move just because he wants to. He tells Jisoo he will provide a list of everyone the chairman has contacted, urging her to find every single one without fail. As the neighborhood's turmoil continues and external matters escalate, the critical question remains, how will they confront this rising tide of zombies?
준영님, 아파트에서 감염자가 빠져나왔습니다.
내보내.
A zombie virus outbreak occurs in a certain country, with the infected bloodthirsty and relentlessly pursuing those uninfected. Without enforced quarantine zones, the entire country would fall within 3 days. The higher-ups questioned Tae-suk about the possibility of developing an effective drug to control the virus. Not wanting to abandon the infected population, Tae-suk deceives the authorities, claiming a cure could be developed within a month. This convinced them to cancel their plan to cut off electricity and water to the quarantine zone. Tae-suk stares blankly at SAE Bomb's file, realizing that SAE Bomb, who carries antibodies, is key to controlling the virus. Meanwhile, SAE Bomb and Ihyun are busy sealing off all passages in Building 1. Some neighbors, who have never seen zombies, resist and make noise about wanting to go outside for fresh air. However, when the door is opened, everyone hesitates to step out. At this moment, a pair of eyes outside the door stealthily observes them. To prevent further incidents of leaving the building, Ihyun thinks it's necessary to reiterate the dangers outside, but there are always people who want to make things worse. Ju Hyun, who hides money in his fridge and has killed his wife, now tempts others with cash to take the risk and venture outside. Initially, Nobody pays much attention, but when Ju Hyun raises the offer to 300,000 Korean won, people start taking the risk for money. As more hands go up in agreement, Lee Hyun and Saebom reluctantly join the group for 3 reasons: to protect those venturing outside, to assess the quarantine situation in the neighborhood, and to gather food for future needs. Armed, the group reaches the quarantine boundary of the neighborhood only to encounter a man turned zombie. The man, momentarily regaining his sanity, bluffs with nonsensical talk, unaware that everyone has already seen his zombie transformation. Taking advantage of the moment while the infected man is still rational, the group quickly slips away. Upon reaching the supermarket, they begin frantically gathering supplies. In a corner, Saebom and Ihyun find Boram, a cashier, shivering in fear.
갑자기 사람들이 쏟아져 들어와서요. 눈을 이상하게 뜬 사람들인데 너무 무서워서 여기 숨어 있었어요.
그 감염자들은요? 밖에 나갔어요?
모르겠어요.
나가자.
Meanwhile, in the supermarket storage area, a horde of zombies is closing in on them. Will they manage to escape safely? They had just picked up some supplies when they were chased by zombies that appeared. Fortunately, Saebom and Ihyun managed to block the zombies outside. The frightened group rushes back to Building 1 but finds themselves locked out. Yeon-ok refuses to let them in. An hour earlier, she had encountered a man in the basement seeking help. A man who wasn't a resident of Building 1. Yeon-ok almost opened the door for him, deceived by his plea, but then noticed blood on his fingers. The man revealed his true nature under Yeon-ok's probing, startling her. Hence, Yeon-ok blocks the door, refusing their entry. At this moment, Ju Hyun, with a sly smile, plays zombie howls on his phone. The zombies in the neighborhood seem to resonate with the sound, filling the area with a terrifying atmosphere. Faced with the prospect of confronting all the neighborhood zombies, an angry Saebom draws a handgun, signaling Yeon-ok to open the door or face a forced entry. Amidst this tense standoff, Yeon-kook and Seo-yoon arrive, unlocking the door just in time. A chaotic scuffle ensues until Ihyun smashes the phone playing zombie sounds, halting the fight. Ju Hyun attempts to flee but is apprehended by Ihyun. Ironically, Ju Hyun, who treated others' lives as a joke, is terrified of being infected. Unable to swallow this insult, Ju Hyun contacts Haesun in the building, intending to legally accuse Ihyun. Haesun never expected to find an unexpected gain within this lockdown neighborhood. They were naive enough to think they'd be out of the neighborhood soon. Meanwhile, Saebom and Ihyun continue to check for hidden dangers in Building 1. They confront Sunbeam about the drugs, but he's unusually agitated and clearly hiding something, stubbornly refusing to speak. With no other choice, Ihyun locks up Sunbeam. Ju Hyun learns from his conversation with Sang-hee that the drug that turned his wife into a zombie was bought from Sunbeam. Ju Hyun, deep in thought, pressures Sunbeam about the remaining drugs. An enraged Sunbeam mutates and grabs Ju Hyun's leg, but Ihyun arrives in time to save him. Ungrateful Ju Hyun slowly reaches for a weapon to attack Ihyun, who teaches him a lesson.
이거나 먹어 이 새끼야. 나 저렇게 좋아하는 거야 그게. 사람 있어 이 새끼야.
건드렸어?
Ju Hyun's attempt at trickery is met with a beating from SAE Bomb, who arrives shortly after. Yet, Ju Hyun doesn't learn his lesson and sneaks into Sunbeam's car, finding the zombie-transforming drug hidden there. What could Ju Hyun be planning? At this point, it was clear that the other occupants of Building 1 had not realized how dangerous it was outside. The profit-driven Haesung, not heeding Lee-hyun's warnings, secretly opens the door to meet a client. Fortunately, Haesung's wife actively seeks out SAE Bomb and informs her of Haesung's whereabouts. Armed with a stick, SAE Bomb rushes over without a moment's delay. In the nick of time, SAE Bomb arrives and relocks the door. Haesung, knocked to the ground, is baffled and unaware that SAE Bomb just saved his life. Annoyed, Haesung complains about SAE Bomb's rudeness, but his tune changes when he sees Sunbeam transformed into a zombie. Haesung realizes the existence of zombies and urges everyone to vote on whether or not to evict Sunbeam, who is carrying the zombie virus, from Building 1 for his own safety. However, SAE Bomb and Lee-hyun oppose this action. They argue that Sunbeam is still a human and could be saved if a cure is developed. Thanks to Lee-hyun and SAE Bomb's efforts, the vote results in Sunbeam not being expelled from Building 1. A guilt-ridden Sunbeam reveals to Lee-hyun that Se-hoon from Building 15 bought drugs from him. Meanwhile, SAE Bomb is with Se-hoon. Hearing this news, Lee-hyun rushes to Se-hoon's home. Will SAE Bomb face danger? On the other side, Dong-hyun convinces Boram with money to go outside in search of his lost phone. Lured by the money, Boram went out slowly, and when she saw the mobile phone, she thought that she would get the money easily. However, they unwittingly opened Pandora's box. Instantly, Building 1 is filled with the moans of the infected and unceasing screams. Outside, more and more protesters gather, chanting slogans to eradicate the zombies. Under pressure, the government agrees to cut off water, electricity, and food to all sealed-off neighborhoods in 3 days. What fate awaits SAE Bomb and the others in the days to come? In a certain country, a chaebol develops a miraculous drug that makes those who take it bloodthirsty. At this time, SAE Bomb is with the person who bought the drug. When Lee-hyun found out, he threatened Se-hoon that if he touched SAE Bomb, he'd show him what he's made of. Fortunately, it turns out to be a false alarm. However, unbeknownst to them, the building is already infested with the infected. At home, Seo-yoon hears a knock on the door, and alert Seo-yoon cautiously goes to the door to check a blood-covered man outside, with a sinister smile, falsely claims to be a friend of Seo-yoon's mother. Seo-yoon, having heard stories of the big bad wolf and the little white rabbit from her mother, doesn't believe him. Terrified by the man's eerie demeanor, Seo-yoon quickly shuts the door, as the man persistently tries to harm Seo-yoon. SAE Bomb and Lee-hyun arrive. They are baffled by the man's presence and question how he got in and why he's covered in blood. Lee-hyun confronts the man sternly. The man, realizing he's at a disadvantage, flees. Lee-hyun and SAE Bomb immediately sense something is wrong after their encounter with the man. They rushed downstairs to the gym, where the man who was guarding Sunbeam was nowhere to be found. A phone left on the ground suggests they might have met with misfortune. The infected entered the building and they were attacked without knowing it. Seeing Sumin bitten by an infected, Hyun-kyung panics and runs back to the gym. However, too kind-hearted to resist Sunbeam's desperate pleas, Hyun-kyung throws the handcuff keys to him. Sunbeam rushed out and scared Hyun-kyung. Sunbeam kept saying that he was thirsty. Of course, Hyun-kyung knew that this was a sign before the onset of the infection and she ran away in a hurry.
나왔어요. 아줌마, 이리 와요. 같이 올라가야죠. 계속 거기 있을 거예요? 나 좀 믿어봐요!
A black shadow flashes and stops Hyun-kyung from running away. At the same time, Saebom and Lee-hyun find Sunbeam, who has drunk 2 large barrels of water. Lee-hyun slowly approaches him with handcuffs, but Sunbeam mutates at that moment. Suddenly, Tae-suk appears and resolves the crisis. Saebom questions Tae-suk's purpose for being there. Tae-suk falsely claims he came for Seo-yoon. However, his conversation with Seo-yoon revolves around inquiring about Saebom. Knowing Seo-yoon's mother is infected, Tae-suk's true purpose for coming to this perilous place remains a mystery. Lee-hyun and Saebom pointed their guns at Tae-suk. Why did a group of people who were supposed to be in peace create such a chaotic situation? Suspicion had arisen in Lee-hyun the moment Tae-suk unexpectedly arrived at Building 1. Lee-hyun interrogates Tae-suk about the time frame for developing a virus vaccine and inquires why Saebom's wound is not healing, wondering if she too has been infected. Tae-suk smiles and starts to talk nonsense in a serious manner. He assures Lee-hyun that 4 individuals have already developed antibodies against the virus and that a vaccine will soon be available to the public. He also assures that as long as Saebom's wound doesn't turn black, she hasn't been infected. This relieves Lee-hyun. Tae-suk instructs Lee-hyun to gather all residents of Building 1, promising them that if they hold on a little longer, the government will soon control the virus. Just then, an alarm sounds. The neighborhood lockdown escalates to a citywide lockdown, contradicting Tae-suk's earlier statements. The situation grows increasingly dire, filling everyone with complaints, panic, and fear, but they have no choice but to follow the arrangements. Lee-hyun starts patrolling the building to ensure no other infected individuals are present. Feeling uneasy and anxious, after careful thought, Lee-hyun realizes that Tae-suk's true purpose is Saebom. Meanwhile, Saebom hands a letter Seo-yoon wrote to her mother to Tae-suk. Tae-suk finally reveals his objective to Saebom. She alone possesses the antibodies against the virus. If necessary, Tae-suk suggests letting an infected person bite Saebom again to fight the virus and save humanity. Lee-hyun, sensing something amiss and seeing the elevator numbers changing, instructs Jungkook to guard the elevator and block Tae-suk, while he takes the stairs to find Saebom on the 15th floor. However, Tae-suk has a gun, and Yoon-kook quickly capitulates. Just as Tae-suk is about to take SAE bomb away, Lee-hyun arrives in time, leading to the standoff at the beginning. Not wanting any harm to come to SAE bomb, who is a living vaccine, Tae-suk halts his actions. SAE bomb cooperatively completes her examination and returns to Building 1 with Lee-hyun. As night falls, lights go out in building after building, with the expected power and water cutoffs beginning. Meanwhile, in Building 1, some residents' hearts are turning dark. At that moment, Ju Hyung injected the drug he found in Sunbeam's car into the water. What exactly is he planning to do? Lee-hyun had obtained evidence of Ju Hyung killing his wife, but due to the virus, he couldn't bring Ju Hyung to justice immediately. This delay gave Ju Hyung an opportunity to plot. During a gathering in the building, a box filled with various drinks was placed before everyone. It was already the 4th day of the water and power outage, and without much thought, the thirsty residents began to drink. Lee-hyun and SAE bomb, sensing something amiss, didn't drink the water from the box. They went to the neighborhood's entrance, wondering why the quarantine hadn't been lifted yet. Suddenly, an alarm blared throughout the city. And the broadcast plunged everyone into despair once more, revealing the severity of the situation. The residents frantically sought ways to survive. Inside the building, Yeon-ok obviously knew what Ju Hyung was planning, and she told Lee-hyun and SAE bang about it. To eliminate all threats, SAE bomb and Lee-hyun visited Ju Hyun's apartment. The sinister Ju Hyung hands them drinks, and Lee-hyun, of course, doesn't believe him. Ju Hyung, who had drunk the beverage, vomited violently, as if he had ingested something filthy. SAE bomb and Lee-hyun, overhearing this from the doorway, confronted Ju Hyung, asking if he had added something to the water. With a sinister smile, Ju Hyung no longer hid his actions, revealing that everyone in Building 1 had consumed the water laced with the zombie virus drug. He told SAE bomb and Lee-hyun that now everyone should just quietly wait at home for a vaccine to control the virus as the apocalypse approached.
뭐 하는 거야?
야, 그게 뭐라고 먹어? 빨리 뱉어 빨리.
쓰다. 이거 야구할 때 먹던 소화제거든요.
이거 뭐야?
소화제. 나 야구할 때 긴장하면 배 아팠거든. 그러니까 좀 바꿔놨습니다.
Lee-hyun, the astute detective, had already swapped the drugs hidden by Sunbeam. Hearing this, Ju Hyung was in disbelief. Meanwhile, progress was made with the antibodies extracted from SAE bomb's blood. The infected began to regain consciousness. Even Tae-suk's wife showed signs of improvement. Could the zombie virus truly be controlled? And would happiness finally arrive? Constantly walking by the shore, one cannot avoid getting wet shoes. Lee-hyun slowly opens his shirt collar, revealing a dark scar on his body, a sign that he has been infected by the zombie virus. When was he infected? After the neighborhood was indefinitely sealed off. Horror and despair spread throughout the area. People not only faced the difficulties of water and power outages and lack of food, but also the risk of their neighbors turning into zombies. In their anxiety, they began to suspect each other, and the situation even affected SAE bomb. Yoon-kook, misled by Yeon-ok, suspected SAE bomb would turn into a zombie and forced her to stay indoors at gunpoint. SAE bomb didn't want to confront Yoon-kook. SAE bomb thought he could rest at home for a few days.
괜찮아요?
야, 내가 설마 세범이 병 걸리기를 바라겠니? 난 그냥 걱정돼가지고. 너도 봤지? 세범이 손에 그...
진짜 아무것도 아니에요, 형. 상처예요, 상처. 형 걱정도 아무것도 아니고.
형아, 넌 먼저 들어가. 내가 책임지고 여기 지키고 있을게. 며칠 지나도 아무 일 없으면은 저 사람들도 안심하겠지 뭐.
형, 조심해요. 저 사람들 믿으면 안 되는 사람들이에요.
But Andrew's sudden visit makes SAE-Bomb furious. Andrew told SAE-Bomb that everyone had decided to expel her from Building 1. Unable to bear it anymore, SAE-Bomb rushed upstairs to argue with the neighbors.
설명할 테니까 먼저 집에 가 있어. 어? 아이.
왜? 쏠라고? 다시 사서 죽이게!
야, 세범아, 진정해. 어?
이 형 이렇게 모인 거 감염자 찾아볼까요?
방법이 있어요?
감염자들 갈증 느끼는 건 다들 알고 계실 거고 갈증 참고 감추고 있다가 눈앞에서 사람 피를 보면 어떻게 될까요?
피가 어디 있는데?
여기요?
Lee-hyun, who arrived later, naturally protected SAE-Bomb. Facing everyone's skepticism, Lee-hyun even cuts his palm to attract those infected with the zombie virus. The sudden incident scared everyone, causing them to flee back to their homes. Lee-hyun's blood spilled on the floor of Yeon-ok's house.
뭐해?
피가 있어서.
오충부부가 또 미친 짓 하잖아. 다시 입주민들 모아야겠어. 이번엔 확실히 내부 감염자들 풀 뽑는 거야. 오실 분들은 다들 오셨네요. 15층은 원래 안 오고 3층 할아버지 댁은 집에만 있겠다고 하셨으니까.
목사님이 안 오셨는데요.
몸이 안 좋다고 집에서 쉰대요.
그분도 병에 안 걸렸나 꼭 체크하세요.
뭐예요?
아, 저 진정 들지 마시고.
그 시간 끌지 말고 빨리 좀 색출을 하죠. 피를 보면 막 돌아버린다면서요. 형사님 좀 스피드 있게.
그러면 우리 변호사님이 직접 하시면 되겠네. 여기 칼도 있겠다. 여기에 밥만 채우세요. 소변 채울 때처럼.
아니 그런 건 경찰이 해야지. 어차피 지금 뭐 상처도 나 있고.
그러게.
아니 뭐 상처를 다시 해집어요? 경찰 헌혈은 아니니까 하고 싶은 사람이 하세요. 없어요?
이거면 되겠죠?
이제 좀 안심되세요? 여기에 감염자가 있으면 낌새가 좀 있을 것 같죠?
피. 감염자들 잡으려면 재료가 있어야 되잖아. 2층에 그 얼굴 뭐 뒤집어 쓰낼 건데 그 새끼도 이상해. 나 머리 빠졌냐고.
조금.
어디가 많이 빠졌어?
아니, 괜찮은 것 같은데?
When Woo-chan got home, a terrible scene unfolded. Realizing Woo-chan would also turn into a zombie, Yeon-ok panicked, seeing that her husband is still conscious. Yeon-ok begs Woo-chan not to hurt her. Woo-chan, remembering their marital bond, obediently left to harm other neighbors. The moment Woo-chan transformed, he encountered Ju Hyeon, who could withstand a zombie attack. Hearing the commotion, SAE-Bomb arrived in time to struggle with Woo-chan, but Woo-chan, a strong man, soon overpowered her. Just at this critical moment, Lee-hyun arrived in time.
이게 더 맛있지 않겠냐?
Although Lee-hyun and SAE-bomb together subdued the zombie, Lee-hyun was truly infected this time. Afraid of worrying SAE-bomb and even more afraid of harming her after turning, he thought of hiding. What will happen next? Will Lee-hyun transform and attack SAE-bomb? This woman is pregnant, but because of the zombie virus, she doesn't know if her child will be infected as well. She desperately begs her husband not to worry about her but to save their child at all costs. Tae-suk, at a loss, nods in agreement. He is willing to sacrifice his own life to save his wife's child if it means stopping the virus. As the zombie virus spreads more intensely, SAE-bomb's arrival brings a glimmer of hope for a cure. They extract antibodies against the zombie virus from SAE-bomb's blood, but some powerful people sent their men to steal the precious research for their own interests. Tae-suk fights for his wife and child.
총 내려!
As his wife's heart rate gradually decreases, it proves the vaccine can indeed treat the zombie virus, and Tae-suk finally breathes a sigh of relief. He quickly realizes that SAE-bomb, with her zombie virus antibodies, is the hope for saving the world. Tae-suk contacts Lee-hyun via walkie-talkie, using the excuse of a little girl to take SAE-bomb away from the neighborhood. Meanwhile, Lee-hyun, already aware of his own zombie virus infection, fears he might attack SAE-bomb. So, Lee-hyun and Tae-suk plan to sneak SAE-bomb out of Building 1. Lee-hyun knows that this farewell to SAE-bomb might be their last. Happy memories with SAE-bomb flash through Lee-hyun's mind. Reluctantly, Lee-hyun cherishes every moment with SAE-bomb. While they were doing their rounds, they discovered a note left by Se-hoon. The note confessed a grave mistake he had made. To rectify his error, he had already left the neighborhood, leaving the food and water in his house for the neighbors to freely distribute. Se-hoon, who always believed the end of the world was near, had stocked up supplies equivalent to a supermarket. Once this news spread, everyone in Building 1 was in an uproar, rushing to grab the supplies. Only SAE-bomb and Lee-hyun found this situation suspicious. Could Se-hoon really have found a way to leave the sealed-off neighborhood? While the zombie problem remained unresolved, people in Building 1 started disappearing one after the other. Lee-hyun, sensing something amiss, informed Tae-suk of the situation. Concerned for SAE-bomb's safety, Tae-suk and Lee-hyun accelerated their plans to move her, but what they feared happened. During a round of checks, SAE-bomb and Lee-hyun found Deok-soon's body, dead for some time judging by the level of decay. But who killed Deok-soon? The neighbors were in constant arguments, with the building surrounded by infected zombies and now a murderer among them. Panic escalated. Lee-hyun and SAE-bomb are determined to find the murderer in order to calm them down. Following the clues, they first went to Se-hoon's apartment. After Se-hoon's disappearance, Andrew had moved in with everyone's agreement, but when SAE-bomb and Lee-hyun arrived, Andrew was not there. Lee-hyun suspected Andrew was connected to the murders. He told SAE-bomb to lock the door and wait for Andrew's return while he went downstairs to search. But as soon as Lee-hyun left, SAE-bomb received disturbing news from outside. It turned out that Andrew's identity was not as he had claimed. The person on his ID had been murdered at home long ago. Because of the zombie virus, incidents like murder had been overlooked, so the information had only just come through. Hearing this, SAE-bomb panicked. She opened Andrew's backpack, and the contents shocked her. Clearly, Andrew had kept items to prove the identities of those he had killed. Meanwhile, Lee-hyun, in the eerie staircase, found Se-hoon's body. Realizing SAE-bomb was in danger, he rushed back to meet her. At that moment, there was a frantic knock on SAE-bomb's door. As Yoon-kook opened it, Andrew attacked. Hearing the gunshot, SAE-bomb and Lee-hyun hurried back home.
지금 뭐 하시는 거예요? 내 남편 두 분 때문에 죽었잖아요.
The neighbor's eyes were filled with malice. Yoon-kook lay on the ground. Seo-yoon trembled with fear. Andrew's hands were covered in blood. Who really is Andrew? And what will happen next? the zombie problem unresolved. Building 1 now faced multiple homicides. Andrew, once he took off his mask, was instantly recognized by Lee Hyun as the serial killer S. S no longer concealed his crimes committed in Building 1.
그러게 시키는 대로 했으면 덜 맞았어요.
안드류 씨.
From a young age, S believed he had magical powers to control everything, and the apocalyptic scenario only intensified his delusions. S used a gun to force Lee Hyun and SAE Bomb to go to the underground parking garage to turn on the backup power supply. Starting the power would generate a lot of noise, drawing all the infected zombies in the neighborhood towards them. The ugly neighbors didn't give SAE Bomb and Lee Hyun a single weapon, which is definitely sending them to their deaths. They had no choice but to take a desperate gamble. The moment they stepped out, Dong Hyun, who had his own plans, followed them. Dong Hyun, he wants to drive out of the neighborhood. After getting Lee Hyun and SAE Bomb's consent, they split up. At the end of the basement, SAE Bomb and Lee Hyun found the power distribution room.
소리 듣고 감염자들 몰려올 거야.
The moment they started the power, the roaring noise agitated all the infected in the neighborhood. Seeing this, Lee Hyun quickly grabbed SAE Bomb and ran. They were intercepted by zombies along the way, but fortunately, they evaded all the attacks. SAE Bomb wanted to return the same way, but the alert Lee Hyun signaled her to take another door to circle back home.
앤드류, 우리 올라가면 죽이려 할지도 몰라. 지금 1, 2라인 엘리베이터나 계단 쪽에서 기다릴 거고.
옆라인 옥상에서 내려올 거란 생각은 못 할 거다.
삼사라인 15층에 아무도 없었어. 서연이하고 전국경 데리고 나갔대.
가자.
As Lee Hyun expected, S had no intention of letting go of SAE Bomb, who had antibodies against the zombie virus. Se-Q, whose conscience awakened, tried to resist but to no avail. The murderous S waited for this hellish scene. Yet, he wouldn't allow SAE Bomb to save everyone infected with the zombie virus. Armed with a gun, S waited at the exit. Will SAE Bomb be attacked by S? As the apocalypse loomed, people no longer hid their inner ugliness. Indifferent to Lee Hyun and SAE Bomb's fate, they rushed to loot the supplies from SAE Bomb's home. When Yeon-ok was stuffing her bag full, she was caught by Lee Hyun, who had just returned.
나도 여기서 죽이게. 내 남편이잖아! 사람 살려요. 사람 죽어요.
난 안 나가니까 걱정 마시고 잠깐 여기 계세요.
Jungkook's injuries were getting worse, and if not taken to a hospital, his life would be in danger. Meanwhile, SAE Bomb followed clues to Haesung's house, knowing Seo Yoon was taken in by Moon-hee. Moon-hee, having seen through her husband's evil face, decided to abandon everything and flee the neighborhood with SAE Bomb. After gathering in the elevator, they reached the rooftop. Kind-hearted SAE Bomb even invited Boram, who had turned into a zombie, into their group. Just when they thought they could safely leave, the serial killer S suddenly appeared. Lee Hyun quickly threw a smoke bomb. During their escape, Lee Hyun was shot by S. Lee Hyun, his clothes soaked in blood, ignored his pain and urged Sae-Bom to lead the others to safety while he stayed behind to confront S. In a moment when Sae-Bom wasn't looking, Lee-hyun locked them inside the room. Sae-Bom, of course, was unwilling, but in the critical situation, there was no choice for Sae-Bom but to bid a reluctant farewell to Lee-hyun. Lee-hyun had already put life and death aside and would do anything for Sae-Bom. Moreover, infected with the zombie virus, he had already received the answer he had longed for in the elevator.
미안해. 말 못해서. 약속 못 지켜서 미안해. 너한텐 늘 좋은 모습만 보이고 싶었어. 가까이 오지 마. 너만 보면 가슴이 뛰고 목이 말라.
나도 그래. 네가 좋으니까.
Lee-hyun threw the only key that could open the handcuffs far away. He told S to do whatever he wanted, successfully enraging him. Just as S was about to attack Lee-hyun, a horrific scene unfolded. Lee-hyun, transformed into a zombie, devoured the serial killer S. Will Lee-hyun, infected with the zombie virus, receive treatment? A group of people, under Lee-hyun's cover, staggered into the garage, fortunately not encountering any zombies. Sae-Bom, without hesitation, drove straight out of there. Unsuspecting Sae-Bom meets Tae-suk without any problems. The first thing she does is to ask him for a gun. She wants to go back and save Lee-hyun. Tae-suk immediately injected Sae-Bom with a sedative. Drowsy from the drug, Sae-Bom watched as some people in the car were taken away. Others locked up. She panicked, unsure if the Tae-suk before her was still the person she once knew. Seeing Sae-Bom not fully sedated, Tae-suk injected her again. In her unconscious state, Sae-Bom saw the lively scenes on the streets and realized something. When she awoke, Sae-Bom understood the truth. She asked Tae-suk, "The outbreak of the zombie virus was always concentrated in our neighborhood, wasn't it? And I was deliberately placed there by you. The reason I could leave is because I developed resistance to the virus." Tae-suk said nothing but took Sae-Bom to his wife. He told her, "Your serum saved my wife. To fully recover, she needs another dose of your serum. I won't hide it from you anymore. The government will take over and bring you to a level 4 virus research institute." Hearing this, Sae-Bom told Tae-suk, "If you don't help me save Lee-hyun, I'll die right here and let you never solve the zombie virus." Meanwhile, in the neighborhood, the few remaining people fought for their selfish interests. Ju Hyung, finding Sae-Bom's house empty, successfully found the drug that could turn people into zombies. As Ju Hyung joyfully headed home, he discovered Sang-hee attempting to transfer money to her account. Sang-hee, seeing her plan exposed, showed her evil face. Hae-sun also came to help crack Ju Hyung's account password.
오빠가 해줄 일이 있어.
뭐야 저거?
고혈압인가 봐. 갑자기 쓰러졌어. 여기 글씨 봐봐. 응? 뭐라고 써 있어?
의사 그 필기체 아니야? 처방전 쓰는 거. 너 몰라? 병원 다녔잖아.
나한테 상담만 해. 오빠 핸드폰 없어?
집에 있는데.
The first thing Ju Hyung does when he wakes up is shove zombie medicine in his mouth. What awaits their respective fates? Eun-ji, infected with the zombie virus, desperately begged Sae-bom to look after her daughter. Eun-ji did her best to suppress the virus, not wanting to mutate in front of her child. Seo-yoon obediently listened to every word her mother said, fighting back tears as she promised to cooperate with the surgery and follow Sae-bom's instructions. This scene deeply touched Sae-bom. Watching a video recorded by Lee-hyun, Sae-bom was determined to do something.
짜잔. 안녕, 봄아. 내가 제대로 프로포즈 못해서 미안해. 그때 내가 지 때문에 결혼 동의한 것처럼 보였지. 그런 거 아닌데. 나 그렇게 막 쉬운 남자 아닌데. 물론 집도 중요하지만 그것보다 누구하고 있느냐가 더 중요하잖아. 안 그래? 무사히 나가서 이 영상 같이 봤으면 좋겠어. 그때는 꼭 제대로 얘기할게. 너 좋아한다고.
She found Tae-suk, and to her surprise, he had already prepared everything for her. Sae-bom's caring actions towards the patients had moved Tae-suk. Of the last 2 virus treatment serums, one was given to Sae-bom.
근데요.
이게 치료 효과가 있는 마지막 주사라는 거죠. 이걸 증폭해서 연구용으로 사용해야 치료 재개발이 가능해지는 겁니다.
중령님이 세상에 양보하시면 되겠네요.
윤세범 씨 데리러 의무사 사령관님이 오셨습니다. 윤세범 씨하고 치료제 다 연구소로 가져가겠다는 거죠.
And Tae-suk administered the other to his wife, ready to face all consequences.
오래 안 걸립니다.
너 이게 뭐 하는 짓인지 알아?
그럼요. 다 됐습니다.
윤세범 어딨어? 치료제 남은 건?
좀 전에 나갔는데요. 못 보셨어요?
Meanwhile, Sae-bom, dressed in the civilian clothes Tae-suk prepared, finally made it to the exit after dodging detection. Sae-bom, eager to return to Lee-hyun, hesitated as she held the serum. The pitiful image of Seo-yoon kept flashing in her mind. The sensible girl shouldn't be left without her mother. She turns back to where Eun-ji is and, without any hesitation, injects the serum into Eun-ji. At that moment, Jisoo arrived. Jisoo asked Sae-bom if she had used the only serum that could cure the zombie virus. Wondering if she had given up on saving Lee-hyun, Sae-bom told Jisoo that no matter what Lee-hyun became, she would stay by his side. Her kindness won over those around her once again. Sae-bom, now disguised in Jisoo's clothes, secretly escaped. She drove towards Lee-hyun's location. Meanwhile, the commander was furious with Tae-suk. The commander couldn't understand why Tae-suk, a soldier, would defy orders for a woman. Just then Jisoo, who had a bruise on her face, also came to the commander, and she spouted nonsense in a serious manner. But she couldn't fool the commander. As the commander was about to reprimand Tae-suk and Jisoo, Tae-suk finally spoke up. He purposely lets Sae-bom escape back to his flat because he knows that someone there has produced new antibodies to the virus. Upon hearing this, the commander immediately orders that the person must be brought in safely. What will happen next in the story? Yeon-ok walked out of her room and, holding a baseball bat, went up to the rooftop, but the scene before her left her stunned. The zombie-transformed Lee-hyun was consuming the blood of the serial killer S. Yeon-ok looked on in terror. After Lee-hyun left, Yeon-ok rushed to S, aiming to snatch the gun from his hands, but S, still alive, suddenly grabbed her, without hesitation. Yeon-ok hit S several times with the bat. Meanwhile, the awakened Ju Hyung, Seizing the opportunity while Sang-hee and Hae-sung were cracking the password, took a few more pills, disguising himself as a mutated zombie. Ju Hyun terrified Sang-hee and Hae-sung, who hid themselves away in fear. The noise outside woke up Lee-hyun, who realized he couldn't ignore the dangerous S. But when Lee-hyun reached the rooftop, he found no trace of S body. The extremely dangerous S, now infected with the zombie virus, posed an even greater threat. Lee-hyun hurried downstairs to search for S and ran into Yeon-ok in the elevator lobby. He asked her if she had seen S. Hearing this, Yeon-ok panicked, fearing SS revenge and the possibility of a lucid Lee-hyun accusing her of murder. Yeon-ok sought Ju Hyun's help. Ju Hyun, hostile towards Lee-hyun, instantly agreed. They planned to eliminate Lee-hyun. A cry for help lured Lee-hyun out. Ju Hyun, holding Sang-hee hostage, had sinister intentions. The sight of Sang-hee's blood made it difficult for Lee-hyun to resist, fearing he might attack innocent people in his zombie state.
누가 진짜 괴물인지 한번 볼까?
Lee-hyun rushed back home and barricaded himself. At that moment, Ju Hyun was still standing at the door, shouting and banging on the door. Just when Lee-hyun couldn't hold it down, SAE bomb arrived in time to stop Ju Hyun. Seeing her beloved transformed into a zombie to protect her, SAE bomb gently touched Lee-hyun with heartache. Would Lee-hyun attack SAE bomb? With SAE bomb's companionship, Lee-hyun's condition had improved a lot. While they were patrolling, a gun was suddenly held to Lee-hyun's forehead. The gunman was the serial killer S. S still believed SAE bomb was a stumbling block in his path of life. To protect SAE bomb, Lee-hyun struggled with S. A gunshot rang out, and SAE bomb instantly sensed something was wrong. Already scarred and wounded, Lee-hyun was now shot again. Lee-hyun lay curled up on the ground, immobile. S threatened SAE bomb to drop her gun, or he would kill Lee-hyun right away. SAE bomb used blood to lure S into transforming into a zombie. S lunged straight at SAE bomb. Lee-hyun, unable to bear seeing SAE bomb harmed, immediately picked up the gun from the ground and dealt a fatal blow to S.
내가 나쁜 경찰 안 됐잖아. 계속 좋은 경찰.
As S fell, an armed force led by Tae-suk arrived. They broke down the door and took away all the residents of the neighborhood. Some rejoiced at having survived, while others wept over lost fortunes. For some, their schemes amounted to nothing. While others' survival gave hope in the fight against the zombie virus. In the end, those with evil hearts faced public judgment. Paying for their selfishness, time passed, and the neighborhood regained its peace. Lee-hyun and Sae-bom embarked on their journey towards happiness.